Pokemon Unbound was a ROM hack completed in 2022, and it takes place in the Boreas region. That's a funny name to say. The game features plenty of quality of life improvements, various difficulties to align with your skill level, and a very well developed story that includes a major plot twist. Some even see it as one of the best ROM hacks to date, but the real question is, does it withstand the post-game test and challenge the likes of the Gen 2 remakes and Gen 5 sequels? I've answered this question in 22 other Pokemon titles, but it's been a minute since the last video like this, so it's about time we keep our long-running series going. Hit that sub button if you want, and without further ado, let's actually play through the post-game of Pokemon Unbound. Now, I live-streamed a Nuzlocke of this game back in the spring, follow the Twitch by the way, and accidentally began the post-game already. All you gotta know is after becoming the champion, you end up back in your hometown of Frozen Heights. Here, you're greeted by Marlin, who used to be evil and is now a good guy, I believe? Hey, it's been a few months, alright? Along with your rival. They'll let you know the battle frontier is now open before Professor Log arrives and gives you another mission. Thanks to the actions of Hoopa towards the end of the main story, 25 different Pokemon have appeared across the region, and you gotta defeat them. Upon entering your house, you'll find a letter from Aklov, I don't know, the leader of the evil team, and he's kidnapped your mom. Like, things just went from 0 to 60 real quick. Although, I didn't seem to care about it that much at the time. Hey Mom, you're gonna have to wait by, like, I don't know, 5-6 months or so until the post-game video comes out, sorry. Anyways, that should get y'all up to speed. In order to save your mom, you'll need to obtain the Advanced Digging and Diving Machine, or ADM for short. It can be bought from Captain Davy in the Seaport City Shipyard for 250,000 Pokédollars. I mean, does it look like money grows on trees? Fortunately, there will be a way to make a ton of money in a bit, but for now, you gotta empty your pockets. Upon doing so, you can make your way to the Ruins of Void and dive below the surface until you reach the eastern entrance. Inside awaits a maze-like room where you have to avoid being seen by some roaming clay dolls and activate various switches. It's nothing too difficult, but after hitting the final switch, you'll have to battle a level 75 Dynamax Claydol. Up the ladder, you'll find a few incredibly important characters, like this Chansey. Yeah, it'll heal your team, so I'd recommend talking to it. Okay, in all seriousness, there's Aklov, your mom, Jax's grandfather, and Zeph's son. FYI, Zeph was the former evil team leader before the big plot twist, while Jax is another rival. Speaking of, he'll join you for a very challenging double battle. Aklov uses mostly fairy types, but he's got some other counters for steel and poison. Couple that with a prankster Klefki and Mega Gardevoir, and this battle is rough. You can tell by just how much I leveled up my mons before I finally won. After being victorious, Marlin and some cops show up to deal with Aklov, and everyone is saved, yay! Yeah, that did not take as long as I thought it would. But even though the credits roll again, there's still plenty to do. This includes checking out the battle frontier, which has a lot in Pokemon Unbound. There's a bunch of move tutors, and everyone's favorite, the lottery corner, yeah! Oh, and there's the 4 facilities, of course. The Battle Circus has you facing trainers until you defeat the Circus Ringmaster. Each battle will include a random effect as well that can't be altered or removed during the fight. Similarly, the Battle Mine features consecutive duels until you be a mine excavator, and you never know what type of battle is coming up. In the Battle Sands, you give your team members to random volunteers and let them battle for you. This one might be the most entertaining considering how unpredictable the AI can be. Last up is the Battle Tower, which is, well, your classic battle tower. As with most post-games, there's also legendary and mythical mons to hunt down. You can start with Articuno, who simply appears in front of you upon walking around north of Frozen Heights. Then you can tackle the Tomb of Boreas, which is located in the Great Desert. On the top floor, you'll meet Fred. Hey man, where's Daphne and Scooby? He'll let you take a crack at the Ho-Oh puzzle, and after solving it, you'll drop to a lower area. Here, there's a bunch of strength boulders that you must push in front of dust snores and onto pressure plates to avoid being detected. Further down, there's suddenly a giant room filled with lava. Thank goodness I did a lot of Minecraft parkour when I was 8 years old because you'll want to hop across these stones. Along the way, you'll find relic items, which can be sold to the Black Belt in Gurun Town for loads of cash, which should more than cover what you lost when purchasing the ADM. Anyways, interact with the different rocks too, as that'll change the path of the stones. As a result, you'll reach the exit, which takes you to a very interesting room. There's a couple of dust snores, and the screen becomes more blurry as you progress. I'm not gonna lie, it was making me kind of sick. Luckily, it doesn't take too long to enter the second to last floor, where you'll need the bike to speed over the cracks in the ground. In the final section, the Pokeball in the middle is guarded by a Magearna of all things. Is it bad to say that I forget about this mon's existence sometimes? Nonetheless, it's another Dynamax showdown, but this time around you can capture it. With that, we're off to the Redwood Forest, which will lead you to the only post-game exclusive town in the region. You'll start by helping this girl take care of a wild Snorlax. I mean, come on, you've got an Infernape. What, are its punches just bouncing off the thing? The Snorlax isn't much of a threat, and that girl's boyfriend will hand you the Snorlium Z after dealing with it. The rest of the woods are a little confusing since each area has multiple exits, but only one takes you the right way. With some trial and error, you'll finally reach Cube Corp. This place is all about science, yet it doesn't have a Pokemon Center. Like, what are we doing?
I don't know.
You can trade a lot of items at the various stands, including Iron Balls for Beast Balls, which is neat. Aside from that, there's some rangers protesting outside the headquarters, but that's about all. So travel over to the Rift Cave in Dahara City. I think I kept calling this place Diarrhea City in the streams. Diarrhea City coming up. Anyways, in the cave lies a portal to the Distortion World where you can get your hands on Giratina. The next set of legends requires you to have completed at least 20 missions. As long as you've done that, a scientist can be found in the mission headquarters in Fallshore City. She tells you to meet her in the Cave of Being on Route 10, where Uxie, Azelf, and Mesprit will disperse across the region. Don't worry, they're not roaming. Looking at you, Entei and Raikou from Johto. Y'all are so annoying to catch. Like, why y'all trying to be different? Matter of fact, I might just... Mesprit can be found within the Shadow Base where you began the game. Uxie's outside the lab in Ptarmigan Town, and Azelf awaits you north of the Pokemon Center on Route 18. If you have all three in your party and return to the Cave of Being, they'll summon Dialga, who can also be caught. Once you become the champion, there's a new section that opens up in Victory Road, kinda like Sinnoh's Victory Road. Except not really, because it is filled with lava. You'll have to surf around and push each boulder onto its respective pressure plate in a clockwise manner, starting in the top left. As soon as you activate the plate in the middle, an entrance will open at the top of the room, bringing you to a raid den and a Z crystal for Komodo. More mythical mons await us, however, so enter the house above the Ptarmigan Town Pokemon Center. You'll learn that this kid is in a perpetual nightmare, so talk to the scientist by the Muna in the town's Dream Research Lab. She claims that you and the boy's father must sail to Full Moon Island to scoop up the Lunar Wing. While doing so, you'll face off with the Moon Croissant Pokemon itself, Cresselia. By returning with the Lunar Wing, the boy will be saved, but then you get transported into a nightmare of your own. I gotta admit, this part is pretty cool. There's visions of your mom, the professor, and other important characters. Eventually, Darkrai will appear, and you have to defeat it in a Dynamax fight. This will cause your character to wake up, and as thanks, the father gives you the key to the locked building in town. Heading inside this house will play a cutscene in which a random dude has you fall asleep, and you can now catch Darkrai for real. I mean, was that really necessary? Why couldn't I just get him the first time? Maybe my favorite part of the post-game is the SS Marine. You can board it every Monday and Friday from Seaport City, and the challenge inside is very unique. There's always a certain number of trainers that you gotta battle, but every piece of dialogue progresses the trip, and if you run out of time, no prize for you, bucko. What makes it funny is that there are a bunch of NPCs who purposely have long dialogue just to mess you up. This is probably a good time to explain that portal mission that was referenced at the start of the post-game. The only easy way to obtain all 25 mons is by utilizing Beast Balls, which aren't easy to come by. So, for the sake of time, I'll just list where each Pokemon's portal is located instead. But I also don't want to talk y'all's heads off, so we'll make this quick. No, really, I think I'm gonna speed up my voice or something.
The legendary beasts, Ho-Oh and Lugia, can all be found in the Ruins of Void. Crystal Peak houses Reshiram, Zekrom, and Yveltal. Eternal Flower Floette resides in the Viville Warehouse. Tapu Koko's on Route 11. Lele's on Route 17. Bulu's on Route 9. Finny's on Route 2. Route 12 has either Lunala or Solgaleo. Nihilego's in Route 14. Buzzwole's chilling on Route 4. Pheromosa's burning up in the Great Desert.
Wait, aren't you a bug type?
Xurkitree awaits in Thundercat Mountain, Celesteela's hanging out in Crater Town, Kartana's in the Viville Woods, Guzzlord's splashing about in the Antithesis Sewers, Necrozma's within Frost Mountain, Route 7 plays home to Stakataka, and Blacephalon's frolicking in the Magnolia Fields.
And what do you get for capturing all 25 Pokemon? A singular Master Ball from Professor Log. Oh nah, you catching these hands, bro. You're catching them. Come on! Even after listing out all those guys, there's still a bunch of legends and mythicals to go after, because, well, that's a bulk of this postgame. You can call out to Zapdos on Thundercat Mountain's peak, and Moltres on top of Cinder Volcano. While you're in Thundercat Mountain, you may want to locate this guy and let him borrow the ADM. He'll dig outside and take a picture of a Zeraora, but he's not too concerned with capturing it, so it's yours for the taking. If you want to be the proud owner of all 4 Reggies, start by talking to the worker in the middle of Tail Town, who needs a statue for some inspiration. This will open up 3 chambers across the region, which are of course accompanied by strange puzzles. The Frozen Tomb lies in the Frozen Forest, where you gotta crack this ice so that the only uncracked tiles are in the shape of Regice's eyes. After catching Regice itself, you'll be off to the Island Cave on Route 18. Inside, you gotta make all the crystals the same color, which is easy to do if you follow the pattern on screen. This gives you access to Registeel, while Regirock rests in the desert ruins. To get to it, you'll have to push the boulders into the shape of an H. With all 3 Reggies, and only the Reggies in your party, head down the icy hole in Bellintown to awaken the Regigigas statue. This thing sucks to catch, since the Reggies are only level 50, while it's a level 100. My best tip is to give your Reggie something like Toxic or Thunder Wave, and literally hope for the best. If you do manage to get Regigigas and show the man in Tail Town, he offers to upgrade your amulet coin in exchange for big nuggets. After beating the league, the guy in Crater Town's westernmost house will unlock a different house in the area for you to explore. Well, I guess there's not much exploring to do since a Jirachi's just sitting on the ground. Be careful though, as it is another Dynamax battle. Upon capturing it, you can bring it to the end of the hidden path on Route 5 to obtain Deoxys. A few more simple mons to locate now that you're the champion are Shaman in the northern section of the Flower Paradise, and Kirim in the secluded Icy Cavern in Victory Road. There's also Meloetta, who's blessed in some moves if you go to Polder Town at night. It'll challenge you to a dance-off, which is pretty fun. Really sees if you were good at those dance pad games. If you're successful, a battle will begin. The only annoying part is if you fail to catch it, you gotta do the dance-off all over again. Back in Seaport City, the battleground is a worthy place to check out. You can participate in the Leaders Gauntlet, which sees you facing off with the 8 gym leaders from earlier in the game. However, there's also added effects which, as you can guess, help the opponent. This is easily one of the hardest challenges in a postgame that I've covered, but the grind is worth it as you can receive a Victini from the girl at the table. Aside from that, I noticed most of the other legendaries and whatnot are just mystery gift codes. Also, apparently you can battle Zeph daily back in the Shadow Base, but he wouldn't every time I tried speaking to him. Maybe he's just scared because he knows who Daddy is. Wait, bro, what am I saying? And with that, I believe we've done all there is to do in the postgame of Pokemon Unbound. I'm sure there's something I missed though, so feel free to yell at me in the comments. Although catching so many legendaries and mythicals might feel repetitive to some, I really do appreciate how much detail was put into each of those missions. I will say I thought there was going to be more to the whole saving your mom plotline, but I suppose it gives you something to do. Overall, this postgame is jam-packed, and it's definitely up there with the best. For now though, I hope y'all enjoyed, have a great rest of your day, and until next time, deuces.